Hi there, and a very warm welcome to the Quiet Mind, Peaceful Life Inner Circle membership. That's a bit of a mouthful. And I'm so happy you've chosen to join us. And I'm really excited to help you break free from this habit of compulsive thinking, negative self talk, and to come home to the natural state of peace which exists at the core of each and every one of us. Um, and my approach is a little bit different from most people. It's not at all about fixing the mind. It's more about, so it's not the path of self improvement, it's the path of self knowledge, the path of self understanding, the recognizing that below the turbulent surface of the mind, there's this field of stillness, this field of peace, which is ever present. And the main reason we don't notice it is because we're so preoccupied with all the movement going on at the surface and try to fix it, which I call trying to iron the ocean. So I get, typically I get a lot of people coming to me for coaching who have been on the journey of self-improvement for years, and the mind still drives them nuts. And they're not really addressing the real issue. That's the thing. And so, yeah, I want to correct that. So, what is the purpose of this membership? Well, it's to completely overhaul and change our relationship with the mind. So it's not about fixing the mind, it's not about changing the mind, it's about getting to know the mind better. There's a quote I like to use from Abraham Lincoln. He once said that, I don't like that man, I must get to know him better. And it's really, we become free through self knowledge, not through self improvement. Through the knowledge that underneath the turbulence of the mind, there's this field of peace which is ever present. And so that's the main thrust of what I teach is, one, getting to know the mind better, and two, getting to know yourself better, getting to know yourself as stillness, as peace, and all of these things. So in most people, thinking's a habit that runs on autopilot. I call it thunking. We're not intentionally thinking, we're being thunk by the mind. And this, in most people, this goes on from the moment they wake up till they go back to bed again. We're compulsively preoccupied with the mind. The key to breaking free from the prison of unconscious thinking is to get to know the mind better. To get to know that in truth, the mind only has as much power as you give it. Ironically, it's the trying to fix the mind, which is the very thing that empowers the mind, the very thing that keeps our struggle in place. And we become free of the mind through recognizing several things. One thing, for example, recognizing that getting involved in the mind is optional. It's not mandatory. Recognizing the difference between thoughts appearing, which you can do nothing about, the same as feelings, same as emotions, and the act of thinking, which is a conscious choice. So the membership consists of three components. what I call the three C's: content, coaching, and community. And these, I believe, are essential for lasting change, the three of them. First of all, we need a pathway to follow, a path that's proven and that will get us from A to B, from turmoil to peace. Secondly, we need a guide. We need someone who's walked the path, to point out all the pitfalls and to clear our doubts, answer our questions. I would never have realized what I now realize without my teacher. And so it's important to have a guide along the way. And also, another important part of having a coach is accountability. Can be quite difficult in isolation to stay motivated and to stay inspired. And this is also the purpose of the community. It's being in a group of like-minded souls keeps us inspired, keeps us motivated, and we can learn a lot from the experiences of others as well. So these are the three components that make up the membership. So my hope for you is that you first learn to put the mind back in its place, to become the master rather than the servant. And something really powerful happens when we do that. An inner light begins to emerge all by itself. And, it's the light of our own being, which is always at peace. And so, the course is designed to give you a direct experience of that peace that never moves, that never changes. So let's talk first about the first of the three C's, the content. So the content comes in three forms. A couple of years ago, I put everything that I've gathered, over the past 30 years into this comprehensive step-by-step course called Switch Off Your Mind, Light Up Your Life. So that, the weekly coaching calls, which I'll talk about in a moment, is based mostly on that course. And there's an emphasis there on directly experiencing the ever-present peace of your true nature. But I've also added another couple of courses to the mix. One of them is called The 7 False Beliefs That Will Keep You Trapped in Your Head Forever, which I personally think is an incredibly powerful framework for peace. And then thirdly, there's a whole bundle which I've added, which is called the Help I Can't Stop Thinking bundle, which includes an audiobook and 9 guided meditations. So that's the content part. So the basic idea of the membership is that you go through the content at your own pace, starting on module 1, doing the assignments as you go along, and bringing any questions you have to the weekly live calls. So there are 2 calls to cater for, different people being in different time zones. The general format of the weekly calls is that we'll go through some lessons from the course, and in total there's 11 modules. I think it's about 10 hours of content. We'll do a guided meditation, and then there will be time for Q&As, or discussion. Sometimes people just want to have a discussion on things that are interesting to them. So I've posted the link for the live calls and the letter that the email that you hopefully received when you signed up. I'll also add the link in the group Facebook page, which I'll talk about in a minute. So the calls generally run from 1.5 to 2 hours, but it doesn't mean you need to be there the whole time or at all. Some people choose not to attend the live calls. If you have questions you want to answer, you can just email me with the questions, regarding the content, or put the questions in the Facebook group, and I will answer them on the call. Calls are recorded and put, within 24 hours, they're put up in the Facebook group, so you can review them in your own time. The membership also includes unlimited email access, so there's plenty of opportunity to get all your questions answered. And if you want to get the most out of the content, I would recommend buying a journal. There's journaling can be an incredibly powerful tool for absorbing information on a deeper level. So that would be a recommendation. So the first step today is to join the dedicated Facebook group. And the best way to do this is to go to onto Facebook and type in Quiet Mind, Peaceful Life, Inner Circle Community. And when you're in there, just ask to join the group, and I'll give you access straight away. And as I said, all the live coaching calls will be recorded and posted in there. The group is our communal space for asking questions, sharing wins, generally connecting with each other, and staying inspired, staying accountable, all of these things. In India, they have a word Sangha, which means community. And I recognize, even in my own practice, I have people that I reach out to, to stay on track myself. So I have my own Sangha. It's, one of the big pluses, I think, of the community is that, we're not doing any of this alone. So, yeah, and the live coaching calls are entirely optional. As I said, some people choose not to join, and that's okay too. And if you do join the calls, you're completely free to contribute as much or as little as you wish. I do prefer if people put their cameras on. It just, there's a different vibe, a different energy that comes from being able to see people. So that's about it right now. I wish you all the best on your journey to inner peace, and I'm here to help and serve you in whatever way I can. If you have any questions at all, you can leave a message in the Facebook group, or you can always email me at richard@thinklessandgrowrich.com. So I'll see you on the inside in module 1, which is called Lost in Thinking, the Human Condition. Bye.